So from today onwards, every Wednesday, you will be having a lecture on embryology. So every Monday, I think sir will be taking histology. इस बार नहीं हो पाया था, पर every Monday you will be having histology and every Wednesday embryology. ग्रॉस एनाटॉमी पढ़ना ही है, वो तुमने पढ़ना शुरू कर दिया है. जनरल एनाटॉमी हो गया है एंड now the dissection has also started in gross anatomy and we are doing upper limb. Besides that, I would say this is a part of the anatomy, but embryology per se is very useful clinically. मे बी एग्जाम में जो तुम्हारा क्वेश्चन पेपर होगा उसमें 20%, like if the paper is of 100 marks, so 20 marks would be for embryology. But embryology as such is very useful when you go to pediatric OPDs, when like congenital part, किसी भी ब्रांच में चले जाओ, अगर आपको congenital किसी भी इससे रिलेटेड कुछ मिलता है, बिकॉज congenital anomaly अगर वो बहुत सीवियर नहीं है, then the person can survive up to 25 years, 30 years, 50 years, मे बी करेक्टेबल भी हो सकता है वो, और उतने सिम्टम्स आए नहीं हो. बिकॉज मैं जो यहाँ पे जो क्लिनिकल केस प्रेजेंटेशंस होते हैं, तो अगर हमारे डिपार्टमेंट को उसमें इन्वॉल्व करते हैं तो बहुत सारे केसेस कौन से होते हैं जो कंजेनाइटल अनोमलीज से, लाइक कोआक्टेशन ऑफ एओर्टा. अभी एक हमने केस देखा, सर्जिकल ट्रीटमेंट हुआ, वो अडल्ट मेल 25 इयर्स हाइपरटेंशन के साथ में प्रेजेंट कर रहा था, सारी चीजें रूल आउट हो गई. तो पता लगा कि, और कोआक्टेशन इज नैरोइंग ऑफ द एओर्टा, इतनी नैरोइंग नहीं थी कि वो उतने दिन तक सरवाइव नहीं कर पाता. फिर सर्जिकल करेक्शन. मेरे कहने का मतलब ये है कि ग्रॉस एनाटॉमी पढ़ते हुए इसे भूलना नहीं है. तो मतलब, और ये ऐसा है कि तुम इसे वर्ड टू वर्ड बुक को शुरू से एंड तक भी पढ़ सकते हो. बहुत बड़ी बुक नहीं है तुम्हारी एम्ब्रियोलॉजी की, और आई एडवाइज यू टू रीड इट, लाइक उसमें तुम ग्रॉस पे फिर भी तुम्हें कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें याद. दिस इज सो इंटरेस्टिंग कि तुम राइट फ्रॉम पेज 1 से लेके एंड तक पढ़ो. Focus on the congenital anomalies. I will also try to make the things interesting. जितने केसेस हम डिस्कस कर पाएंगे, जितनी congenital anomalies कर पाएंगे, वो हम करेंगे. सेमिनार्स भी मैं इस ईयर करवाना चाहूँगी. तुम लोग मतलब जो भी केसेस रहेंगे उसमें करेंगे. पर ये है कि अगर बिल्कुल छोड़ दोगे ना, इसे नहीं पढ़ोगे, तो फिर इंटरेस्ट लूज हो जाता है. क्या होता है कि टेस्ट आने वाला है, कई बार ग्रॉस का टेस्ट हो जाता है, एम्ब्रियोलॉजी का नहीं होता. हाँ, तो तब इसे छोड़ देते हैं. तो रीड इट फ्रॉम डे 1. सो कमिंग टू एम्ब्रियोलॉजी, द कॉम्पिटेंसीज फॉर टुडेज सेशन आर, एट द एंड ऑफ दिस सेशन डिस्क्राइब दी, ये गेट बंद कर दो, कोई जो भी आएगा ये गेट बंद करके आया करेगा. डिस्क्राइब द स्टेजेस ऑफ ह्यूमन लाइफ, explain the terms phylogeny, ontogeny, then trimester viability, and describe the uterine changes occurring in menstrual cycle. So very basic things. पहली क्लास अब शुरू करते हैं, तो इसमें बहुत कुछ बेसिक जो है वो तुम्हें पता है. एंड देन बिकॉज अब एम्ब्रियोलॉजी शुरू ही यहीं से हुई है, तो आज हम डील करेंगे. So what are the stages of human life? What do you think? What are the stages? उसी में add on करना है, refine करना है. बेटा हाँ हाँ, stand up. हाँ, क्या लगता है तुम्हें? Deal human being as an organism. So what are the stages you think of? और किसी के दिमाग में क्या क्या आ रहा है? जो आ रहा है वो बोलो. इसमें क्या वो है? हाँ हाँ बोलो. टीनेजर, अडोलेसेंट, टीनेजर और अडल्ट और जुवेनाइल, बहुत सारे टर्म्स आ गए. और इससे पहले टीनेजर, अडोलेसेंट से पहले आओ. हाँ, जाइगोट, एम्ब्रियो. हाँ हाँ, फीटस, इन्फेंट. वेरी नाइस. हाँ बिल्कुल सीक्वेंस में चल रही है. हाँ, इन्फेंट के बाद चाइल्ड. हाँ, टीनेजर या अडोलेसेंट एज, अडल्ट. ठीक, ओल्ड एज, हाँ, मतलब अडल्ट को हम डिवाइड से तो मोटा मोटा इसने बता दिया है कि दीज आर दी डिफरेंट स्टेजेस. इसको डिवाइड करने के और तरीके हो सकते हैं. सो फर्स्ट दीज आर द डिफरेंट स्टेजेस यू कैन सी. ये क्या है? इन्फेंट है. इन्फेंट कितने ईयर्स तक है? 1 year. मतलब टिल 1 year of age we call as infant. देन जब तक बिल्कुल ठीक से चलना शुरू नहीं हुआ है ऐसा है टॉडलर. देन 1 to 3 years इसमें चाइल्डहुड स्टेज दिखाया है. एडोलेसेंस जैसा या टीनेजर का पिक्चर इसमें नहीं है. जो मुझे गूगल से मिला वो मैंने डाल दिया. देन ये सीधे अडल्ट दिखाया है एंड देन दी ओल्ड एज. तो और थोड़ा सा इसको रिफाइन करें तो fetus in the womb, then baby or infant from birth till the 1 year. So embryo, fetus, but till birth, then after birth till 1 year of age, infant, toddler from 1 to 3 years. ठीक से चल रहा है पर उतना नहीं. 1 year पे 1+ में वॉकिंग आ जाता है. उसके बाद में पकड़ पकड़ के चल रहा है, ठीक से चल रहा है. 1 to 3 टॉडलर. देन अब इन्होंने इसे प्री स्कूल और इसमें डिवाइड कर दिया है. बट ऑल दिस टिल 12 years of age इज द एज ऑफ चाइल्डहुड. टिल प्यूबर्टी वी कैन कॉल कि 3 years के बाद 3 to 12 years के बाद में ये पूरा कंबाइन करके किस में डाल सकते हैं? चाइल्डहुड में, टिल प्यूबर्टी. एंड आफ्टर प्यूबर्टी अराउंड द एज ऑफ 12-13 years टीनेजर और अडोलेसेंस. So adolescents and teenagers is somewhat they are the same thing. Then adult 19 to till 19, adolescent 13 to 19 years. Then after 19 to 25 years adult. 25 years को भी काउंट. अगेन इस पिक्चर पे मत जाओ, ये तो गूगल से लिया है, इसको छोड़ दो. तो क्या क्या स्टेजेस हो गई? इन्फेंट, एम्ब्रियो, फीटस. अभी हम देखेंगे एम्ब्रियो और फीटस में क्या डिफरेंस है. फीटस कब तक है? टिल बर्थ. देन फ्रॉम बर्थ टिल 1 year of age infant. From 1 to 3 years toddler. From 3 to 12 childhood age. उसको तुम प्री स्कूल कहो, स्कूल कहो, जो कहो. 5 to प्री स्कूल इज 3 to 5. then 5 to 12 is school age. then 12 years पे टीनेजर. 13 to 19 या 12 to 19 जैसे भी काउंट करना चाहे, टीनेजर या अडोलेसेंस. then from 19 to 25 दो adult age has started but that is early adult stage. क्योंकि 25 years पे हम एक विजडम टूथ है वो आता है. देन ये जो ओसिफिकेशन है सिम्फाइसिस मेंटाई का बोन एज के साथ भी चल सकते हैं. जैसे ह्यूमरस की जो ओसिफिकेशन की एज है 18 to 19 years, कुछ बोन में 21 है. तो 25 years तक ऐसा मान सकते हैं कि अर्ली अडल्ट. टिल 25 इट इज कम्प्लीटली अडल्ट. और बाकी और पर्सपेक्टिव में देखें तो 19 years से हम अडल्ट कह रहे हैं. तो 19 to 25 अर्ली अडल्ट और अडल्ट. एंड देन आफ्टर 55 years दी ओल्ड पर्सन. अब आजकल एज लिमिट कम है तो 60 नहीं लेके हम 55 वी कैन से कि अब उसके बाद में क्या होगा? ओल्ड एज ऐसा स्टार्ट हो गया. सो दीज आर द डिफरेंट स्टेजेस ऑफ ह्यूमन लाइफ. हाँ उस पे आएंगे. वेरी नाइस. सो ऑन्टोजेनी एंड फाइलोजेनी. What do you understand by the terms ontogeny and phylogeny? पानी है. What is the difference between ontogeny and phylogeny? So ontogeny means when we are studying the development of a single organism, and phylogeny is when we are studying the evolutionary history of an organism. Like हमारी phylogeny क्या थी? हम पहले क्या थे? हाँ मंकी थे. कोई कुछ बोलेगा पर ठीक है. कैसे कहाँ से शुरू हुआ है? फिशेज, एम्फीबियंस, रेप्टाइल्स, मैमल्स. तो ये क्या है? एवोल्यूशनरी हिस्ट्री है. सो दिस एवोल्यूशनरी हिस्ट्री वी स्टडी इन फाइलोजेनी. एंड ऑन्टोजेनी इज डेवलपमेंट ऑफ एन इंडिविजुअल ऑर्गेनिज्म की वो क्या क्या स्टेजेस थे जो अभी हमने देखी. जो स्टेजेस हमने ये सारी देखी ना, कौन कौन सी स्टेजेस देखी? फीटस, एम्ब्रियो, चाइल्ड, अडल्ट. सो all these development, this is ontogeny and then the phylogeny. Then ontogeny recapitulates the phylogeny. ऐसा लगता है कि फिश का भी अगर जो एम्ब्रियो होगा वो हमारा जो ह्यूमन एम्ब्रियो है उससे सिमिलर होगा. So development from embryo to adult is ontogeny and evolutionary history of a species or a group of species is phylogeny. Then taxonomy is the ordered classification of the organisms. जैसे हम classify करते हैं organisms को किस में, reptiles, mammals. So that is the taxonomic classification. Now coming to the terminology, embryology and developmental anatomy. So what is embryology? Study of ह्यूमन बीइंग बिफोर बर्थ. कहाँ से शुरू हुआ है, एग्जैक्ट टर्म कहाँ से, हम कब से कह रहे हैं, ओवम से, स्पर्म से या जाइगोट से, जाइग. So it is the study of the human being या processes and events involved from the fertilization up to childbirth. क्योंकि जाइगोट जब बन गया है then we can say कि yes, the organism has started forming. So from fertilization till childbirth is embryology. So all the processes and events involved, इसमें इसको अगर हम और डिटेल में जाएं तो what all events are involved, what all changes you can think of, क्या क्या चेंज हो रहा है, इसको बिल्कुल छोटे लेवल पे जाके देखो. बिल्कुल मॉरुला ब्लास्टुला, मतलब ग्रोथ हो रहा है, डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, प्लस there are molecular changes, there are regulatory things also. So all those molecules, those processes which are involved in this development right from the fertilization till birth, that study is embryology. Why do we study embryology? Why do we study, what are the applied aspects? हमने क्यों ये सब पढ़ना शुरू करा? टू स्टॉप दी कंजेनाइटल अनोमलीज. ये कुछ चीजें जो है वो एक उसी स्टेज में स्टॉप करी जा सकती हैं. प्रेगनेंसी जो है वो स्मूदन अप हो जाएगी इफ वी नो अबाउट द डेवलपमेंट की कौन कौन से स्टेज में क्या हो रहा है. देन नाउ द न्यूअर थिंग्स हैव स्टार्टेड, the artificial fertilization, artificial techniques are also there, so we can help those couples who are not having baby. So those things, but these are the scopes for the for studying embryology. Then developmental anatomy is processes involved from fertilization to structural and functional maturity of organs, viscera, systems of human body. पूरा डेवलपमेंट जब तक कि जैसे बोन जो है वो बंद तो गई है पर उसके बाद भी एपिफाइसिस चेंज हो रहे हैं जब तक उसमें ओसिफिकेशन नहीं हुआ है. सो दैट थिंग इज डेवलपमेंटल एनाटॉमी. एम्ब्रियोलॉजी एंड्स एट बर्थ and developmental anatomy continues. Then clinical embryology is knowledge of embryology which is useful in the understanding and management of pregnancy and commonly encountered problems during pregnancy and congenital anomalies. So it is the applied part of the embryology. Graduation courses have started in clinical embryology. There are many centers like where this in vitro fertilization is performed and they give employment to those who are trained in clinical embryology. There are courses for clinical embryology. Then teratology is, teratology क्या है? What are teratogens? They are the, हाँ बोलो, खड़े होके बोल दो. तो आवाज आ रही है मुझे मिडिल रो से, मिडिल ये जो कॉलम है यहाँ. हाँ. So they are the like certain factors. So the science which deals with the processes involved which interfere with the normal development. So it is the study of all those processes, all those molecules, factors which interfere with the normal development of the human being and consequences thereof. So this study is teratology. The factors which interfere might be mental stress, nutrition, medicines. Some, you know that some medicines pass through the placenta. Thalidomide drug tragedy, I think you must have heard of. So they can interfere with the normal development. Then the environmental factors around the growing embryo. So all those things which interfere with the development, they are studied in teratology. Now coming to embryology part. What is the normal gestation period? 9 months from the day of the last menstrual period or from the day of fertilization. Actually, expected date of delivery is counted from first day of the menstrual cycle, and it is 9 months plus 7 days. And period of gestation is counted from the day of fertilization to the time of delivery. So there is a difference of 14 days in expected date of delivery and gestation period. Usually the expected date of delivery in clinics is counted from first day of the menstrual cycle, and it is the normal duration is 9 months plus 7 days. Then gestation period is of 280 days or 40 weeks, and or it might be 10 lunar months. Then you know that pregnancy is divided into 3 trimesters. First trimester, second trimester, and थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर 3+3+3. बट अभी जब इसमें आ गए हैं मेडिकल में, यूजुअली द थिंग्स आर stated in terms of weeks instead of months. Why? Weeks are more specific, because a month can consist of 30 days or 31 days. But if we are saying 7 weeks, that means 28 days. If we are saying 6 weeks, that means 24 days. So we usually state in terms of weeks. So first trimester is from the first day of fertilization to 12th week. Second trimester is from the 13th week to 24th week. 6 months ही है, 24 weeks means 6 months, but we say in terms of weeks. Then third trimester is from 25th to 36th or till the child is born. Then that means till 40 weeks the pregnancy is normal. Now coming to certain more terms: natal, prenatal and postnatal. What do you mean by the term natal? It signifies birth, or it means birth. That means prenatal and antenatal, they are same thing. ANTE is antenatal or prenatal. So what are the stages prenatally or antenatal stages? As he rightly pointed out, there is a stage of zygote, there is a period of embryo, and there is a period of fetus. This period of embryo, कुछ बुक्स इसको जर्मिनल पीरियड भी लिखती हैं, ठीक है. तो कैन somebody tell me कितने वीक्स, कितने डेज तक ये है? Everything which we are going to study in embryology is from the day of fertilization. ठीक है, कुछ भी जो हम अभी ये जाइगोट, एम्ब्रियो, फीटस, जो भी हम वीक्स की बात करेंगे वो कहाँ से कर रहे हैं? फर्टिलाइजेशन से. So from fertilization till third week, till the completion of third week is the germinal period or period of zygote. Then from 4th week to 8th week, that means second month. 4th week to 8th week, that is the period of embryo. And from 8th week till birth, this period is of fetus. Why it is so much? हम क्यों divide कर रहे हैं? Because why we are calling that thing as embryo till 8th week? Because ये जो time है till 8th week या 2 months, this is the time when I will say the starting thing for each organ system. जितने भी organ system बनने हैं उनके लिए जितना differentiation चाहिए, that is completed till the age of embryo. That means 8th week, and this is the most vulnerable period for the teratogens to act on the developing conceptus. So till 8th week, the most vulnerable period, that is the period of embryo, and it is up to the second month or 8 weeks. And from 8 weeks till the this pregnancy, we call the product of conception as fetus. Now coming to some more terms: perinatal period, neonatal period, infant period, pediatric age. What is the age of viability? मतलब कब हम बोलेंगे कि अच्छा, जरूरी नहीं है ना कि सारी जितनी भी प्रेगनेंसीज हैं वो कंप्लीट हो जाएं या कंप्लीटेड हो टिल 9 months. स्टॉप भी हो सकता है, कभी अर्ली बर्थ भी हो सकता है. तो कब हम कहेंगे कि मतलब वी कैन सेव द बेबी, अब इतना द बेबी हैज क्रॉस और द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ कंसेप्शन हैज क्रॉस द एज ऑफ वायबिलिटी, सो दैट एज इज 7th मंथ। अभी वैसे 6th मंथ में जो है वी हैव न्यूबॉर्न केयर यूनिट्स, NCU बोलते, न्यूनेटल केयर यूनिट्स आर देयर, so they can save the baby of 6 months of age, बहुत छोटे छोटे से मैंने देखे हुए हैं। then 7 months तो ऐसा है कि उसके बाद ये जो 7 months आया है ये बाहर के कंट्रीज से आया था, कि वहाँ पे पहले वो 7 month तक they were able to save and they have documented it, but now 6 month तक भी हो जाता है। so age of viability is till the age of 7 months. So perinatal period is from the 28 weeks of gestation, that means 7 months till to 7 days after birth, because after birth also there are this product is more vulnerable to things, so this period is perinatal period, बस याद ही रखना है, from 28 weeks to 7 days after birth. Then neonatal period is from the age of birth till 1 month. Then infant period is from the birth to 1 year, then from birth to 18 years is pediatric age. सिर्फ terminology है जो अभी तक हमने बात करी है, जितनी भी embryology, teratology, phylogeny, ontogeny, and then this perinatal, prenatal and postnatal. So if you know natal is birth, then you can make out the perinatal, neonatal, infant and all these things. So how we can calculate the age of the fetus, ये बहुत तुम्हें करना पड़ेगा जब तुम clinical postings में जाओगे। So most common method of calculating the age of embryo or fetus is the menstrual age from day 1 of the last menstrual cycle to the childbirth. So it is calculated like this. It is the most widely used method in the clinical practice. Then this age can be calculated from the day of the sexual intercourse, that means that will cause fertilization, and then it can be calculated from the day of ovulation also. For how much time does the ovum survive? Like 24 hours. So it can be from 1 to 3 days, but usually it is 24 hours. Then so these two ages, like there will be a difference of 1 day from in ovulatory age and coital age, and then the fertilization age, from the day of fertilization to the childbirth. At the time of fertilization, the temperature rises to 1 degree Celsius. Charting of temperature is actually done. ये इतना इसको बहुत meticulously करा जाता है in case of those who are not able to conceive easily. Charting is done. The body temperature charting is done, and then we will be seeing the temperature falls and then it rises just after this ovulation. So it is like that. Then the age of the fetus can be calculated by ultrasonography also. By doing sonography also we can calculate the age, क्योंकि menstrual age किस पर depend करेगा? मदर ने जो history दिया है, लेकिन हम कैसे बता, मतलब we as doctors how we can calculate it? We can correlate that thing with the sonography. So on sonography, how we can calculate the age? By counting the number of somites. Then crown rump length of the fetus can be measured. Crown rump length is highest point of the head is the crown, and rump is the lowest point on the trunk. So crown rump length, then crown heel length also. This heel to crown is the crown heel length. So all these can be measured and these can be correlated with the last menstrual period. There can be difference in both the things. Then we call that thing as fetal growth retardation. Menstrual history से तो कुछ और एज मिल रहा है और सोनोग्राफी में कुछ और एज पता लग रही है, तो that means there might be growth retardation in the fetus. So these are the different parameters which are usually taken in the first trimester. Crown rump length can be taken to calculate the fetal age. In the second trimester, the biparietal diameter on the head and in the third trimester femur length is the more this I will say reliable criteria to measure the age of the fetus. एक चार्ट जैसा बना हुआ होता है, जब तुम लोग जाओगे ओपीडीज में और इसे ठीक से देखोगे तो उस चार्ट में लिखा होगा कि क्राउन रम्प लेंथ एट द एज ऑफ 6 weeks, 7 weeks. There is a range, there is always a range, but by that chart you can compare the whether the age, and then you have to correlate that age with the age calculated by the last menstrual period, and then it can be calculated. Then now coming to a different aspect, the in vivo fertilization and in vitro fertilization. What do you understand by the term in vitro fertilization? Outside, when the fertilization occurs outside the body, that is in vitro fertilization. The sperms can be taken and then ova can be extracted, and then the fertilization can be done outside the same temperature, similar conditions to the body of the female, they are provided outside. So that kind of fertilization is in vitro fertilization. And if after the fertilization and after certain growth, like it becomes more, implantation occurs at which stage तुम्हें शायद पता होगा, मोरुला में होता है, ब्लास्टुला में, blastula or blastocyst. So in the blastocyst stage, that blastula is implanted in the body of the mother. Mother can be the same woman from which the ovum is extracted, or it can be a different lady if the uterus of that lady is not proper. Now coming to, so this was all about the introduction about the embryology, what we are going to do. अभी हम बात करेंगे, खत्म नहीं हुई है क्लास, अब नेक्स्ट उसमें आ जाओ. थर्ड हमारा क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव था? 2 objectives I have dealt with. First was different stages of human life, then phylogeny, ontogeny, viability, ये तुम हम कर चुके हैं. और अब थर्ड ऑब्जेक्टिव है चेंजेस अकरिंग इन दी यूट्रस इन दी मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल. So coming to the changes occurring in the uterus during menstrual cycle. वो रेंज इसका हमेशा चला जाता है जब पीछे चले जाओ. What do you exactly understand by the menstrual cycle? You must be knowing ovulation or cyclic changes occurring in uterus at the correlating it with the changes occurring in the ovary. So cyclic changes which are occurring in the uterus, that cycle is menstrual cycle, and it is correlated or it occurs simultaneously with the ovarian cycle. So external manifestations of a series of cyclic changes taking place in the endometrial lining of the uterus, during which the oocyte matures, is ovulated and enters the uterine tube. So all those changes which are occurring in the endometrium of the uterus, and they are coinciding with what? When the oocyte is maturing, it is ovulating and it is entering into the uterine tube. So this is the menstrual cycle. So just recapitulating the things you might be knowing. So what all layers are there in the uterus? Perimetrium, myometrium and endometrium. Can you tell me which tissue is there in endometrium? We have 4 basic tissues: epithelial, connective, muscular or nervous. Which tissue is there in endometrium? How connective tissue can be at an interface? Uterus is a cavity, so it is an epithelium. So which epithelium is there in endometrium? Columnar. Columnar epithelium is there in the endometrium, and then certain glands are also there. These three things are there in the endometrium: the simple tubular or uterine glands, and arteries are also there. The connective tissue, basically it is present at the base of the endometrium, because endometrium as such is avascular. Then myometrium is the middle layer. Of what it is made up of? Which muscles? Smooth muscles. Smooth muscles arranged in different directions. They are not arranged in a particular direction because uterus has to contract simultaneously. So muscles, they are arranged in three dimensions. So myometrial layer, and outermost layer is the perimetrium. It is what? It somewhere it is epithelium, and somewhere the uterus is covered by peritoneum, and where it is covered by peritoneum it is lined by squamous layer. Otherwise connective tissue becomes adherent to the outermost lining. So perimetrium is epithelial somewhere and connective somewhere. So endometrium, myometrium and perimetrium, these three layers are there. This is the uterine cavity. You can see this is the uterine cavity, the cervix, and then the fallopian tubes. What are the parts of fallopian tubes? This is what? Fimbria, infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus, and then the uterine part or the intramural part of the fallopian tubes. So where does fertilization occurs normally? It occurs in the most dilated part, and that is the ampulla most of the time. इसमें बहुत बड़ा सा ऐसे isthmus बना है. Then these are the ovaries. You can make out the ovaries. From where does ovulation occurs? From where does ovulation occurs? From the ovaries itself. Do ovaries have an opening? No. Then how does ovum reaches to the abdominal or the pelvic cavity? No, infundibulum will collect it, but how it reaches to the ovaries are not having any opening. Anyone? नहीं, one by one. हाँ, क्या views है? हाँ, fimbrias will collect the ovum, but fimbrias are not piercing the ovary. They are not piercing the ovary, na? So how do they collect? हाँ, it is there in fallopian tube. So how will it help to collect the ovum from the ovaries? It will help to propel the ovum towards the uterine cavity. Ciliated epithelium will help. हाँ, ओस्टिया होता है फिम्ब्रिया में, वो कलेक्ट कर लेगा, पर बेटा उसके अंदर जाने से पहले उसमें से कैसे एक्सट्रैक्ट करेगा? ओवरी से. हाँ हाँ हाँ. Follicles rupture, and then the ovum, it like it is expelled from the ovary, from the surface itself. Why I am telling this thing to you? If ovulation occurs in a female, a scar is formed at that point. There is no separate opening for the ovulation. So we can, by doing the USG, if somebody wants to think of whether the ovulation has occurred or not, so we can see for that scar. So a scar is formed at the surface of the ovary, and ovum is expelled inside the pelvic cavity, and then you mentioned correctly, the ostia is there, fimbria will be connecting, and then it passes through the fallopian tubes, and then it will be reaching to the uterine cavity. What is the normal site of implantation? Which part of the uterus? Uterus had got three parts: fundus, body. Fundus is the normal site of the implantation. The upper part of the uterus, posterior wall, fundus. So usually implantation occurs at that part. So now coming to the, so before the ovum has reached to the uterus, the changes will be occurring in the uterine cavity, so that it will be prepared to take that ovum, or the product of the zygote. Then so these are the different layers of the uterus: the perimetrium, the myometrium and the endometrium. It is stained slide, and you can identify the uterine glands and the blood vessels. And then this is the myometrium and then the perimetrium. The endometrium of the uterus is divided into two layers: stratum basal and stratum functional. So which layer is shed during menstruation? Stratum functional sheds during menstruation, and stratum basal remains at its place. And stratum functional actually consists of stratum compactum and stratum spongiosum. Then these are the four different phases of the menstrual cycle: the menstrual phase, post menstrual, प्री प्रोलिफरेटिव, सीक्रेटरी फेज. तुम लोग बता दो कितने कितने डेज का होता है मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल, कितने डेज. तो व्हाट इज द नॉर्मल एवरेज ड्यूरेशन ऑफ द मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल? 28 days. And for how much days the menstrual phase is there? 5 to 7. अगर हम 28 डेज को ऐसे सेगमेंट्स में तोड़े ना, तो 1 to 4, अदरवाइज 5 to 7 भी है तो नॉर्मल ही है वो. ठीक है, तो 1 to 4. देन पोस्ट मेंस्ट्रुअल फेज इज, अगर हमने 1 to 4 का मेंस्ट्रुअल रखा है तो 5 to 8 पोस्ट मेंस्ट्रुअल होगा. देन प्रोलिफरेटिव, it is till the 14th day, because everyone knows कि most of the time ovulation occurs on the 14th day. So from 5 till 14 we call that phase as post menstrual. भूल जाओ post menstrual को किस में include कर लेते हैं हम? proliferative phase में. So from after there are only 3 phases basically: menstrual, proliferative and secretory phase. So after menstrual it is the proliferative phase from 5 till the 14th day. At 14th day ovulation occurs. After ovulation there is secretory phase or the post ovulatory phase. In the menstrual cycle one thing is fixed. Which phase is fixed? Secretory phase. Secretory phase is fixed for 14 days. Then this proliferative might change, menstrual might change, post menstrual might change, but secretory phase is always fixed for 14 days. So in follicular phase, which hormone brings about changes? Estrogen is the main hormone which brings about changes during follicular phase, and progesterone is the hormone which brings about changes during luteal phase or secretory phase. What all changes are there in the uterus during proliferative phase? Stratum functional grows, so there is increase in thickness of the endometrium. What other changes? इसमें मुझे ये जो चार्ट है इसमें लेंथ मुझे ठीक नहीं लगा. मतलब 1 to 4 इज मेंस्ट्रुअल, ठीक है. ये 4 से लेके 21 तक इतना बड़ा फॉलिकुलर नहीं हो सकता. ये कहाँ तक है? सिर्फ ओव्यूलेशन तक है, प्रोलिफरेटिव तक है. उसके बाद क्या है? सीक्रेटरी फेज है. वन इज अंडर द इफेक्ट ऑफ प्रोजेस्टेरोन एंड वन इज अंडर द इफेक्ट ऑफ ईस्ट्रोजन. सो इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द मेंस्ट्रुअल फेज, the stratum functional layer is discarded. It lasts for 4 to 5 days, and the discarded thing consists of ruptured endometrium, unfertilized egg, and the blood rich in plasminogen. You can compare it with the flesh blood. It is not the fresh blood, it is the coagulated blood, so that is why there is difference in the color also. So then the post menstrual phase. So if we correlate the changes, what changes are occurring in the ovaries at the time of proliferative phase? Estrogen hormone is increasing. So what occurs in ovary at that time? There is increase in size of follicles, and follicles pass through different stages. What are the different follicular stages? Primordial to सीधे सेकेंडरी तक पहुंच गए. प्राइमोडियल टू पहले इसमें प्राइमरी, देन प्राइमरी टू सेकेंडरी, सेकेंडरी टू Graphian follicle or the tertiary follicle. So all these changes are occurring from when to when? From 5 to 14 days. Under the effect of which hormone? Estrogen. Many follicles, they start maturing during one cycle, but only one follicle reaches to the tertiary stage or the Graafian follicle, and that ovum ruptures. Then after, so in the ovaries there is high level of FSH, is follicle stimulating hormone is secreted. Estrogen provides a positive feedback to the follicle stimulating hormone. Its level also rises. One follicle begins to ripen and brings an egg to the maturity, and follicles secrete estrogen also. When the follicles are maturing, the amount of estrogen is also increasing, because theca interna cells of the follicle, they secrete estrogen also. All these changes, they start at which age? At the age of puberty, because before that there is no follicular development and no such cycle is there. So we can see the changes in the uterus. In the menstrual phase, you can see the thickness is increasing. In the proliferative stage, the uterine glands, they will increase in the number, and then plus the branching of the glands also increases. Same thing occurs with the arteries. The arteries increases in the size, and plus coiling of the arteries. Basically the coiling of the glands and the coiling of the arteries, it occurs in secretory phase under the effect of progesterone. And increase in size and this thickness, they occur under the effect of estrogen. So after 14th day, after this proliferative phase, in the secretory phase, you can see there are increased coiling is there. Then glycogen storage is also there in the cells, because basically uterus is making bed for the product of conception. So that is why after the rupture of follicle, the follicle changes into corpus luteum, and corpus luteum will secrete which hormone? Progesterone. Because before that, before this secretory phase, in the proliferative phase, theca interna cells were secreting estrogen, and after this the corpus luteum will be secreting the progesterone. So if fertilization occurs, the things will continue, and if the fertilization does not occur, then corpus luteum will change into corpus hemorrhagicum, corpus albicans, and then the level of progesterone will go down. Estrogen has already gone down, so the menstrual phase will follow. So in the uterus, the estrogen starts endometrial proliferation, the stratum functionale thickness increases, the glands, they become more coiled, and then the in the secretory phase, it lasts for आफ्टर 14th डे अगर काउंट कर रहे हैं, इसे 14 डेज ही होना चाहिए. देन प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन स्टिमुलेट्स ग्लैंडुलर एपिथेलियम and endometrium becomes thick, glands become wide, tortuous and saccular, and spiral arteries become increasingly coiled. So these are the changes after the degeneration of the corpus luteum. The progesterone and estrogen, both of them are not there. Ischemia occurs in the, that means reduction in the blood supply occurs, because arteries have become coiled and more amount of blood supply is because of the presence of progesterone. And when the progesterone itself is not there, the ischemia will occur. There will be decrease in the blood supply. This paleness will occur in the endometrium. If fertilization occurs, human chorionic gonadotropin will maintain corpus luteum and luteal phase will continue. Which cells secrete human chorionic gonadotropin? हाँ, ब्लास्टोसिस्ट स्टेज में सिक्रीट होता है. कौन सिक्रीट करता है? ट्रोफोब्लास्ट. सिंसीशियो ट्रोफोब्लास्ट. वी डिवाइड ट्रोफोब्लास्ट इनटू, हम पढ़ेंगे डिटेल में एम्ब्रियोलॉजी, बट साइटोट्रोफोब्लास्ट एंड सिंसीशियो ट्रोफोब्लास्ट, दे सिक्रीट HCG. एंड यू नो दैट वो जो प्रेगनेंसी टेस्ट किट है, वो किसका लेवल चेक करते हैं? HCG. सो दैट लेवल इज एक्चुअली चेक्ड, इट्स लेवल. देन एट द ब्लास्टोसिस्ट स्टेज द इम्प्लांटेशन अकर्स. So this is the embryoblast. ये सब हम डिटेल में सेकेंड वीक ऑफ डेवलपमेंट पढ़ेंगे. एक बेसिक आइडिया दे देती हूँ. एट व्हाट टाइम इम्प्लांटेशन अकर्स, आफ्टर हाउ मेनी डेज ऑफ फर्टिलाइजेशन? 7 days. दैट मीन्स फर्स्ट वीक जो पूरा, अभी हम जो जितनी एम्ब्रियोलॉजी पढ़नी है वो कैसे पढ़ेंगे, इन द फॉर्म ऑफ वीक्स. लाइक माई नेक्स्ट क्लास विल बी ऑन फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ डेवलपमेंट, देन सेकेंड वीक ऑफ डेवलपमेंट, थर्ड वीक ऑफ डेवलपमेंट. इट इज लाइक दैट. तो इन द फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ डेवलपमेंट व्हाट ऑल विल बी देयर? इम्प्लांटेशन विल अकर, है ना, फर्स्ट वीक. इन द सेकेंड वीक व्हाट विल अकर? वो तो पढ़ना है, आगे चेंज होता जाएगा, इनर सेल मास, आउटर सेल मास. पर इन द फर्स्ट वीक ब्लास्टोसिस स्टेज तक रीच कर जाएगा एंड इट विल बी देन फ्रॉम व्हाट hormonal control of the menstrual cycle. The hypothalamus secretes gonadotropin releasing hormone. The pituitaries will be releasing luteinizing hormone and follicular stimulating hormone. It will stimulate the growth of the follicles in the ovary, and then the estrogen will be secreted, the progesterone. So this way the positive feedback of the estrogen will also help. What are the functions of these hormones? तो बहुत वैसे डिटेल में फिजियोलॉजी में पढ़ोगे, बट एक्चुअली दिस फंक्शन इट शुड बी नोन बिकॉज दिस हार्मोनल कंट्रोल फॉर्म्स द बेसिस ऑफ oral contraceptive pills. So if you know about these, you can make out the mechanism of action of the oral contraceptive pills. क्या ये एक बार एक साइकिल देख लो, कब at 14th day when the ovulation is occurring, before that what is there? LH surge. LH has reached to the peak, estrogen peak has already occurred, follicle stimulating hormone, their peak has occurred, it coincides with the ovulation, and then their level starts decreasing. And then the level of progesterone starts increasing because corpus luteum will be secreting the progesterone hormone. So what all hormones are given in combined oral contraceptive pills? Estrogen and progesterone. So what will they do? One by one, raise your hands. They will maintain the endometrium, and plus what will be their effect on the release of this follicular stimulating hormone? It will be suppressed. जितना LH सर्ज होने के लिए जितना हमें follicular stimulating hormone चाहिए उतना level नहीं, because body या brain will detect कि yes a certain amount of estrogen and progesterone is there, so it will be like those levels are there, तो increase नहीं होगा, उतना ही रहेगा. And then what is the mechanism of action of progesterone only pills? What additional actions are there of progesterone besides suppressing this follicle stimulating hormone? It alters what? It alters the quality of cervical mucus. So follicular stimulating hormone, it causes growth of follicles, maturation of follicles. Then luteinizing hormone causes ovulation. It converts the ovarian follicle to corpus luteum and stimulates the secretion of progesterone. Then estrogen, it causes growth of endometrium, its maintenance, it thins the cervical mucus, it favors sperm passage. But opposite to that, progesterone, it thickens the cervical mucus and it prevents the entry of microbes and of course sperms also. And then the functioning, it maintains the functioning of the endometrium is maintained by progesterone. So rise in temperature by 0.5 degree is also caused by the progesterone. HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, is early pregnancy marker and also maintains corpus luteum. So progesterone has got certain, why this, we can also give estrogen only pill, सिर्फ progesterone only pills क्यों बनाए हैं फिर? One thing is progesterone has certain additional actions, and second thing is estrogen is basically it is required for the like proper functioning of a female body. Then if proper amount of estrogen is not there in the body because it is suppressing this FSH na, so there are certain side effects of these things. So to suppress those side effects. Like we do not want side effects. So basically, these oral contraceptive pills, they are avoided in the patients of, they are avoided at an after an age, like after 35 years of age. In heart patients also they are avoided. In those patients, which pills are safe? Progesterone only pills are safer. So estrogen, it maintains the growth of the bones also, and so there are additional actions of the estrogen. So that is why progesterone only pills are favored. So oral contraceptives contain estrogen and progesterone, and these combined oral contraceptives containing both estrogen and progesterone, they are usually given for 21 days, commencing at fifth day of menstrual cycle, and they are stopped for 7 days. Why I am telling these things? You will be going to community, वहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से जो कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव्स हैं वो कौन से हैं? Combined oral contraceptives. So you should know the mechanism of action. And जितने लोग ये यहाँ ऐसे करके बैठे हैं कि हमें तो गायनी में नहीं जाना है, तो हमें नहीं सुनना ये या क्या है, उन्हें मैं बता दूं, because you what you will be becoming after 4.5 years? Indian medical graduate who has to work at प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेंटर. वहां तुम्हारे अलावा और कोई नहीं होगा और कोई भी पेशेंट आ सकता है ना? तो ये सारी नॉलेज इसलिए तुम्हें दी जा रही है. ऐसा नहीं है अभी से तुम गायनेकोलॉजिस्ट नहीं बनने आए हो ऐसा सोच के ये सब नहीं हमें देखना या पढ़ना, ऐसे मत सोचो. तो if we compare the ovarian or correlate the ovarian and uterine cycle, the follicles, they start developing after the menstrual phase. Then there occurs maturation of the follicles from primary till the secondary follicle. शायद मैं next class में भी बताऊंगी what difference you can find between the primary and the secondary follicle. See, the tertiary दिख रहा है. There is a cavity in the secondary follicle and ovum shifts to a point, to one direction in the tertiary follicle, and then ovulation occurs, the corpus luteum, and then this is the degenerating corpus luteum. All these things are occurring in the secretory phase or the luteal phase, and then this is the follicular or the pre-ovulatory phase. So normal length of the menstrual cycle is from 20 days to 40 days, or it can be 20 to 36 days, but average is about 28 days. Follicular phase extends from about day 5 to day 13. Ovulation occurs on 14th day, and luteal phase extends from 15th to the 28th day. So, what are the indicators of the ovulation? The body temperature, then the cervical mucus, it thickens after ovulation, and it is thinner in the presence of estrogen and thicker in the presence of progesterone. And then the level of the luteinizing hormone can also be estimated to confirm ovulation, and then ultrasound examination of the follicles can also be done. So basal body temperature, it falls till the ovulation, and after ovulation around 0.25 degrees Celsius rise occurs. So if we measure it in Fahrenheit, so from 97 to 98 it becomes 99, 98, 99. So that is why this increase in temperature can be noted also. These are the different clinical conditions associated with the menstruation: the dysmenorrhea, amenorrhea, it can be primary, secondary, menorrhagia, Mittelsmers, menopause, premenstruation syndrome is also there. For anovulation, a drug is given. That drug is clomiphene citrate. Usually, whenever it is given, it has a side effect of causing multiple ovulation. So, you might have heard about the stars having multiple kids at one time. So that is because of the clomiphene citrate tablet, which is given when there is anovulation. So hormones can be utilized for the contraception. Thank you.